reflexes. Anyway, good game. Really sorry about what happened with that second game. Obviously, we didn't quite continue it at exactly the right spot. That was not exactly fair. Sorry, but it happens. Whatever. We'll try and have we'll try and have that stuff figured out for next time. Um, Otherwise, let's do the usual stuff that we'll do in an interview at this point. So we kind of talked a little bit about who everybody was, kind of like the relation to the Day 9 community and all that. So I don't think we asked ZRQ this question while Andy Citizen was here. Since you made a point of that last time, let's go ahead and do that. Tell us, ZRQ, how you find out about the Day 9 community.
Tell me about yourself, ZRQ. Do you like slow walks on the beach?
Andy Citizen wants to get to know you. I'm so wrong. Okay. I gotta not play along with your jokes. Anyway.
I'm so sorry.
But hello? Oh, my chat didn't scroll. I was like, why? No one is typing anything. Okay, there we go. Reaction time so slow. What? I was watching some StarCraft tournament. Sean casted, and before I knew it, I was constantly watching. Okay, well, there you go. I think that seems to be how it worked for a lot of people, whether they saw him over at MLG Anaheim or in earlier tournaments, or hearing Husky reference them, and that seems to be how it works for everybody. Now, so here's let's have here's some fun questions, I think. What do you guys think of the maps we used today? So I think the maps we actually got to play on was Ultrazeme and Polar Night. Mm-hmm. So I want to hear from both of you what your opinions are on these maps. So we'll start with you, Otter.
I'm not a really big fan of Ultrazeme, and in hindsight, I probably should have picked some of the new maps, because it occurred to me that the game that I played with Anazarg was actually on one of the new maps, and I didn't even know. But it's all right, I guess. I screwed up a whole bunch, so it probably wouldn't have mattered.
Well, here's something I like to remind people of when it comes to this game is everybody makes a lot of mistakes. Yep. It's not just you. Your opponent's probably making as many. The question, what it comes down to ultimately, is who makes less mistakes, at the end of the day.
Or when they make the mistakes.
Like, the only people who play perfect games, if they can even get close to that, are like the best of the best players. And even then, it's not normal. Yeah. Everybody makes mistakes with this. Yeah. But yeah, so it seems like, I've noticed this in general, and I'm waiting for ZRQ to give his response. It seems like people really like a lot of the smaller maps. But anyway, Ultrazeme offered a pretty safe expo with a single narrow wall off. 4-player map helps avoid cheese and rushes. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it does generally have the benefit, especially for Terran, as we were discussing.
Yeah.
We were doing the cast, is that it offers Terran quite a few options, especially if they like to go for that drop style.
Yeah, and I think Terran are relatively safer on Ultrazeme, as opposed to like a Zerg player on that map. Which was something I actually want to point out was, like, I like that you decided to take Otter. I like that you decided to take your third as your natural because of the positioning of the natural on Ultrazeme. It's easier to reinforce and to have aggressive units soak up damage instead of losing your main before your natural.
Sorry, reading the chat.
I might be wrong about
Kaiser is a little bit burned about the Banshee still, but we'll just save that for later. Go ahead and answer your question. I probably completely ruined
ZRQ.
That. So that actually, I might be repeating what Andy Citizen just said, but was that the reason that you went for the natural outside of the base on Ultrazeme instead of the one that's on the inside?
Uh-huh.
Okay. There you go. Cool. Like, I honestly, that had flown completely over my head, and he was the one who noticed. I was like, oh, yeah, that's really smart. That's a good point.
Well, I'm a Zerg player too, so I notice, the builds and stuff, and especially locations for expansion placements, things like that.
Okay. Okay.
Looks like
That's-
ZRQ has something.
Yeah, ZRQ. Yeah, he's saying that he didn't realize that was your second base. He thought that was the third. So he thought that you had gone for a fast 3 base,
Yeah.
which is interesting. If you had gone for an extremely aggressive 2 base play, it probably would have killed him because of that. But, there you go. That's what they say. That's the danger of making assumptions, I suppose.
Yeah, ZRQ is typing something, so
He's
I
typing
want to see
something.
what he says. It's gonna be a wall of text,
Or I don't know.
or like 3 words.
Actual reaction is the pullback from Polar Knight. Yeah, the Polar Knight game. Nah.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no one can blame you, ZRQ, for doing that.
Yeah, and
We shouldn't have allowed it to happen in the first place.
yeah, audit no. No, and I don't want to, because it's not really Josh's fault either. Like
No,
didn't
we
have
said
a-
it was.
a
We all
sense
said
of-
it was okay. We didn't even think about what going back a minute would even mean.
It was all my
Yeah,
fault.
exactly.
It was all my fault. I gave him 1 minute future sight. I'm sorry. I'm like the Sword of Omens. And
No, it's okay.
It's okay.
Got to remember, it's not like anything was on the line. And it's not like we're playing for money, so
Yeah.
it's okay.
Just for
It
pride,
is all good.
It's fine.
for pride coins.
Now, granted, if Ender and Tinkertonk ever play each other, we sure as hell better not do that, because they're playing for a lot of pride coins on top of everything else, and I want to be able to laugh at them about it later. So, in that situation, we gotta be careful, but it happens. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, but I think overall, like the second game was really good.
Oh yeah, I actually
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Um,
One thing I was curious, Otter, like, what were you planning on being more aggressive with those games? Is that why you're because I noticed you took your third a little bit later. So I was just wondering if maybe you were planning on being a little more aggressive, or if it's just kind of more comfortable for you to play off of 2 base for a little bit longer.
Originally I was. So I noticed the only games I ever actually win are the ones when I play aggressive, but for
Mhm.
whatever reason I keep chickening out and I pull back and then I don't know how to react at that point and I just totally screw everything up there.
Mhm. Yeah, it was just it was something I was kind of curious what you were thinking about, like what your plan was when I saw that you were going for aggressive units over expanding to your third. But so that makes sense.
Mhm.
I was also curious as to were you going to, like, in the first game, you didn't go Banelings, but you went Mutas. Were you planning on
Well, focus the question a bit. Like,
mixing
what,
Banelings in later,
Yeah.
or was it just kind of you were on the back foot or something? Yeah. Sorry, you'll have to help me out because
no,
I'm not
your
used to
mic
this.
was kind of like cutting out a little bit, so you're
Oh,
like
sorry.
only getting little bits and pieces of it. But yeah, what was your game plan with that match? I'm
Yeah.
actually kind of curious. Like, talk about
Um,
what was in your mind before the game started and how things changed as it went forward.
Before the game starts, it's always just kind of the same thing. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna go ahead and play aggressive, and that'll be that. And then, yeah, I just wussed out and decided, no, maybe I should do this, and then just changed my mind like 6 or 7 times at that point.
Ah, okay.
Like, so,
I think that's pretty common with most players to some degree. I mean, you scout something you didn't expect, and you're like, oh, that wasn't in my plan. Now what do I do?
Yeah.
But,
So ZRQ says, in game 1 he scanned the Spire, and he was expecting worker harass, so he ended up spending a bunch of his minerals on turrets.
so he's just sitting there all walled
Yeah,
up,
like
and it's like,
paranoid.
nothing's here. What do I do?
Yeah.
But yeah,
He kept
you know,
staring at-
I think that's probably a legit reaction. to be
Yeah,
honest.
I think so too. I think that is the right reaction to when in ZVT. If you see mutas, you definitely want turrets in your base.
All right. Well, Frog's asks, interesting question, because we saw the Infestation Pit. Have you considered ever going Swarm Host in any of these matchups? Now, to be fair, a lot of people don't like Swarm Hosts, so I understand that.
Yeah, and
if you're not a
Swarm
fan.
Hosts are not very good against Bio.
But he is bringing it up.
I'll actually be the first to admit that I do like swarm hosts and I do like infestors, and I have never once used them in a live match.
Ah.
Otter, I like Infestors and Swarm Hosts too.
They're cool.
They
They
are.
look awful because they're like
Yeah.
all goopy and weird, but
Well,
they're cool.
and what's great is if you can land a good fungal playing against Bio, you can lock down the Marines and then hit them with Banelings.
So-
That's always helpful.
ZRQ has a question. I think this is probably directed toward any citizen. How
Or
do you
Otter.
decide if you go Roach or Lynx? Either of you.
I generally don't go Roach in ZVT, especially if they're going Bio. If they're going Mech, I will. At least some. Or if I'm planning a Baneling Roach all in. Or bust. So determines if I should make tanks or mines. Yeah, mines are good against Ling, Baneling, and tanks are good against roaches.
Freaks. Yeah, you're not the first person who had brought that up. He's mentioning, like, does anybody find it annoying to look at the Swarm Hosts when their backs are all bubbly?
Yeah,
There's
it's
an
like-
actual condition that
yeah.
creeps people out.
And
I'm not making that up.
don't look up pictures of it.
Yeah, it's creepy.
It makes you feel sick to your stomach.
It reminds me of those horrible like frogs and things that like have the eggs
Yeah.
that grow on their backs and they pop and it's,
That's what they got the idea from.
Yeah.
oh god.
Yeah.
Okay, Tinker Tonk. ZRQ has a question for you. He wants to know why you think he's a butt.
No, he changed that question over and he said that he meant enter, if I remember correctly. Anyway, I think we'll go ahead and consider this done for tonight. It's almost midnight my time. I'm getting pretty tired, and I can understand if Josh wants to stop as well, but I'll be happy to play a couple games if people want it for fun.
Yeah, I think myself I'm gonna duck out. So.
It's cool. We won't have the stream up, but that's all right. Don't worry about it.
No, thank you so much to everybody that's been here like all day. You guys are the best.
It's been awesome for us a
Yeah.
little bit. I was here.